Hi Collective, it's Kai. So, I wanted to record this as I'm going through a lot of things in the material world, and as I'm also being challenged by those things and like the anxieties, so the conditioned triggered responses within me. I've also been very much developing newfound trust and faith in the universe, but also with myself, of course, because I am the universe in itself. And I want this video to be titled, "Yeah, I'm just gonna continue to be this love and choose to love like this, and there's nothing wrong with how I love and how I choose to love people." The biggest thing though is that I have learned, even though I get rejected, and even though there are times where I could definitely try and take things personally or victimize myself or make it only about me, and I don't know, it's such an interesting development because I've realized that I've been healing a lot of codependency, anxious attachments, and that I still am resilient, and I choose to love and be enlivened by this love that I have and that I wish to share. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to share it not only with myself, of course, first and foremost, but with others who give me their consent, and also truly choose to be around me. And it's a gift. It is a privilege, a gift, a blessing, and I do not wish to take it for granted. And that's why I've learned to actually let go more of how I have had a tendency to choose people who didn't show that reciprocation or didn't show up in that way, or they misunderstood me and didn't communicate with me to clear up misunderstandings. They decided to believe that narrative versus seeing me for how I am. And I read something today about how it's so nice to have someone understand you, because choosing to love someone as you understand them is also to know who they are. And if people can't understand me, then they don't know who I am, and yet at the same time they only know the parts of themselves in me that they understand about themselves. That very much the prevalent quote of people can only meet you at the depths that they've met themselves, and it doesn't make me any greater or worse or less than, simply because I delve very deeply into myself, and I wish to meet people at their depths as well. But I really realized that lately, because I refuse to be hardened, and I refuse to jade myself over, even though there have been decisions where I question, why am I like this? Like, why do I get so nervous? Why do I talk so much about it? Or like, why do I keep talking and like in front of them and like also not pay attention, and yet at the same time completely, like, there's so much for me to learn from that still, that I don't want to like completely divulge that information right now, because I'm like still processing it subconsciously, I guess, more so than anything. But yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that I see the world in this way, because life is hard. And not that life was supposed to be easy anyways. Our souls literally decided to come to this world and be like, yeah, we're about to throw some motherfucking challenges at this motherfucker. And yeah, I know that I am coming out of this so much more clear. Today Today is... Oh no, I wish I had my watch. Anyways, it is November 15th, Wednesday, around sometime around 11 something, 2300, and yeah, I'm just like in this mood, man. I don't know what it is. As I've been releasing a lot of things, I've realized, like, yeah, like, I'm just like this. This is just how I am. I wish I could talk about it more, but honestly, I do feel like I need to also keep certain things to myself. Because I've always believed that I have been someone who's like an open book. And then as I've gotten older and lived in this world longer, so met more people and just had more experiences, I've also realized how different perspective causes experiences to be. And it just, like, it blows my mind, because I'm like, oh my god, they could be totally creeped out by me, or oh my god, it totally makes sense that I would make them feel super uncomfortable, or oh yeah, of course they wouldn't like someone who doesn't like them, and therefore they don't like me just as much as I don't like them, or maybe even more, I don't know. But I'm really wrapping my head around the differences, and how, yes, sometimes choosing to love someone from afar is truly the best choice for me, for my health, for my own choice of self-love. And there's nothing wrong with still choosing to love them. And yeah. So I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to start doing these videos more often, but like kind of also in a different way. So I have a poem book that that's a very like personal thing of mine, but I'm gonna read if wait a second. Wait a minute. Sorry, I would get up, but I'm not wearing pants, so sorry. But yeah, I have a poem here. I've already read it before, but I would love to read this because, oh, yeah, I would love to read this because it's true for me. There's only the truth of all things that just fall into place, whether you feel like it's a race or just fuck up your pace. It's not really as bad as I think, but I can't place it. Wouldn't you sink? If you never leave, or bereave, or no longer deceive. All of cross temptations, without sound, without relations. But I approach this all with tons of patience. So remember, I'm not leaving, I'm just not needing. I wrote this during a period of time where I was really feeling a lot of triggered moments from being around someone that made me respond in a way where I was very much understanding how insecure I am, and how love is something that I didn't really access for a very long period of time in this way. And so it's this energy of, even in the space of no connection, no communication, no context even, that feeling where when you look at the ocean and it's so vast, but in its full glory, it is still this beauty that cannot be encompassed in words or expression. That no matter what comes up, it's something that's so deeply felt and yet so deeply judged. That's what I was feeling. I was learning to be very compassionate and non-judgmental towards myself during this time, because damn, bro, liking someone, choosing to like someone even when they don't like you, like, gosh, it's just crazy. Like, I really, like, I'm not leaving, I'm just not needing. I know that I didn't need to do anything about this situation, but I wanted to. And so that's why I never left. I kept being drawn and teasing myself, honestly. Classic. But it's a very fond memory for me. I've realized that I've forgiven myself so much these past few days even, where I'm just like, yeah, I can be a foolish person. And I don't mind being a fool, because when you're a fool in cartomancy, the tarot, the Fool card's the first card, and it's card 0, and 0 means infinite potentiality, because it's also a circle. And the Fool is hanging with one foot up as if they're dancing on a cliff with just the smallest amount of belongings, but they're looking up to the sky and they're about to fall off this cliff with faith, knowing that no matter where they fall, it will be where they're meant to be. And that's what I learned from this experience. Is I learned that this is how I love. This is how I choose to love people. I love very deeply, and I love very flashily, and it's really flirtatious for me, and honestly still pretty overstimulating. Like, I genuinely, being around someone that I am like excited but also anxious, because I feel like those two things are very interchangeable, is something that I've learned about myself, where I'm just like, I like him, but I also don't. Like, I just want to be myself, but I can't help it. And yet at the same time, if I just took a deep breath, maybe things would be different. But you know when your heart's racing, it's kind of difficult to breathe slowly. So yeah, I really felt that over the weekend. Like, I was around someone and I felt my heartbeat. I literally felt how fast my heart was beating. Like, I actually walked away from him and I was like, oh my god. Like, I genuinely was lightheaded. It was crazy. But yeah, that's just how I am. So I send love to people who love just as crazy as me and experience this. Don't crush yourself, okay? Don't be mean to you. Like, if you have a big fat crush on someone, just have that big fat crush. You don't have to do anything about it, but also you don't have to control yourself or like restrain yourself. I think that's the most important things, like self-restraint or self-control, you know? It's your choice. But like, seriously, I realized, like, oh, I just want to experience this on my own. Like, I really don't need this person to choose me. Oh my gosh, it's so funny though, because I'm just like, I know that it's important to experience and express, but it's also really important for me to experience and express with myself. And so, I don't know, I'm going off a little bit on a tangent there, but I send you the best on your own respective spiritual journeys. I send so much love. Stay strong, Stay strong during this time. I know there's so much happening in the world, and it's I feel it. I really just stay safe, okay? Your life is precious, just as much as mine is. Your emotions are valid, your experiences are valid, and not everything, you are not your thoughts, and you're not defined by your physical entity. And I send so much love, always. Have a good, wonderful rest of your day or night.